Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Open Shutter, the first one of summer. So very excited for summer. It's about 45,000 degrees outside, but hey, we got a fire show tonight, so it all makes sense. So huge thanks to Kareem here, aka Eighth Line.
Yep.
We met each other through Stamina, who's also been on the show before. So we haven't technically met in person. We've
No, not yet.
been doing these virtual meetings. Yeah, we're in the process of doing sort of like an Opal Spotlight type of video. So that'll be coming this summer. So that's gonna be super exciting. So I just figured I get Kareem on to talk about kind of like the journey of a creator, because this show is not necessarily about photography, but Kareem is big into music. So I'll let him
Yep.
speak about that stuff. But I think it's also beneficial to get people from different areas of being creative, because you can pick their brain on how they approach kind of making what they make and what inspires them and kind of like their process. So I think sometimes it's helpful to get a perspective outside of photography, because you may pick something up that you may not necessarily otherwise. So huge thanks to Kareem for jumping on. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Paul. If you're coming from Kareem's side, um, do a bunch of stuff on YouTube, vlogs, documentaries, co-host this show with two other guys who are not showing up right now. I'm not sure where they are, but maybe they're stuck in traffic, or maybe they're severely dehydrated. Who knows, right? So, but yeah, if you don't if you don't know who I am, my name is Paul, based in the Oakville area, and yeah, I don't know if you like me talking to a camera a lot. Go check out my channel after, because that's what I do a lot of the time. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So anyway, thanks everyone for watching and listening on Spotify and Google Podcasts. And don't want to take up too much of Kareem's time, but for the viewers that don't know, maybe just a quick intro about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Kareem. I go by Eighth Line. I've been actually making music now for about 2 years.
Yeah,
I was always doing music like ever since I was a kid, but it's only been the last 2 years where I've kind of made the push
yeah.
and just been doing everything that I have to in order to do what I love. So
Hmm.
I appreciate you having me here today to speak on your platform. And honestly, I look forward to our future,
Yeah,
especially in terms of that project. That's going to
yeah,
be good. I'm
yeah.
excited for
I think it's important for artists to support other artists, because again, I think just by sheer having that relationship, I think you can definitely learn a lot. Just again,
it.
just how to approach certain things, because I think I'll speak for myself personally, is that sometimes I get stuck in my own head too much, and I don't
Yeah,
really see the big picture. And sometimes you need to get like a different voice just so you can break out of that shell. So
yeah,
um, now, for the viewers that don't live in Oakville, Eighth Line, they have no idea, but Eighth Line's a street in Oakville, so that's AKA that's the handle. So shout out to Eighth Line. If someone's watching on Eighth Line, hey, you can be in the
shout out to
video.
the street. Oh
Yeah.
man,
Well, hey man, we have people that watch from like all over the world. Sometimes we got people in like
yeah.
Ghana and like the UK. So people are like, "What's Eighth Line? What does Eighth Line mean?" But it's a street in Oakville.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Why don't you like what kind of music do you like to do usually? Produce or make?
That's kind of been my my question to myself because I
Yeah.
do I like all kinds of music. I mean, even like a long time ago, um, I would always say that I hate country music,
Yep.
but I've been proven wrong lately. Country music actually kind of good, man. Yeah, the right ones though. Um, sorry.
Depends depends on the artist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, in terms of my specific genre, I don't see that I have one. I like all types of music. All my projects so far have been a wide variety of different styles.
Yeah.
And what I've slowly started learning is that my favorite genre is more R&B as opposed to hip hop.
Right.
So I'm slowly focusing more and more on that. I actually I have a few of them coming out lately. I just dropped one with Alyssa Jade. It was her first feature,
Okay.
so shout out to Alyssa Jade.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. So I'm trying to stick with more R&B flow nowadays.
Awesome. And like what inspired you with R&B? Like was there a certain like a certain thing about it that you want to focus on R&B?
Um, Everyone who knows me knows that I'm pretty emotional. I get
Yeah.
pissed off and I get sad quite easy, especially when I'm drunk. So I feel like
Okay.
that's where it stems from.
Okay.
But I don't. I prefer singing over like rapping, to be completely
Yeah.
honest. So I feel like that also helps too. Even in some of my songs when I rap, it's still very melodic and very harmonized. So um, I feel like that's my core.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, it's good. I think in anything it's good to have like a niche too where you kind of focus on it and like I don't know if like for me it's like to get like ideas about what to make like like how do you get like ideas for songs? Like do you
Uh,
have like a process or is it just does it just come to you like like randomly?
Honestly, so I haven't really worked on a new song because everything that I'm putting out now is things that I've had for months, if not at
Yeah,
least a year.
sure.
But when I do, like normally Friday nights, I'll take a break from actually working and I'll have fun, make new music as much as I can,
Yeah.
or just freestyle. But when it comes to actually making a song, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I just
Yeah.
find I just play around, and whatever sounds good to me in that moment, I just kind of start
Right.
with that and follow through with it and see
Yeah.
where it goes
It's a
and see
feeling.
what the
It's a
vibe
feeling.
is.
It's a feeling.
Yeah, exactly,
It's like a
exactly.
feeling. Yeah. You can't really force it, eh? You can't really
Yep.
like if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You just gotta keep working at it.
Yeah.
Like anything in terms of like making anything, you just have to kind of keep going with it, and then eventually
Yeah.
something will drop. So
Yeah.
I think that's a good like lesson, like a good I think a good like some good advice for the people watching and listening is that just because like you haven't like made the thing that you thought of like months ago doesn't mean that it's not good. It's probably still
Yeah.
good. Maybe you just need time to like think about it more. Maybe it's not the right
Yeah.
time to like push it out because I have like lots of ideas for videos that I just
Right.
haven't made them yet. They're just like in my notebook. It's
Yeah.
like maybe this week I'll do that, but it's also
Yeah.
timing too, right? Like it's timing too. Like I don't know, like even like personally for like if you want to make something that kind of like mirrors what you're going through in life, maybe it makes more sense to do that song or to make that video because that's what you're
Yeah.
kind of going through. So it doesn't have to
Well,
be
like,
like an A to Z like process where like you have to do every single idea
yeah.
like you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's exactly that. Because even now, like, I could show you, like, I'm looking at my hard drive right now, and I have at least a minimum 100 songs that I've played
it's good.
around with. Yeah, that I've
That's good.
played around in the past, or I've started, and it's just I didn't really catch the vibe of it. But
Yeah.
like I was saying, like a lot of them I'm going back to now, and I'm refreshing them, and I'm redoing them. So like it's exactly that. Maybe it's just not the time for that
Sure.
specific one yet,
Yeah.
right? Like,
It needs that perfect moment to kind of like
yeah,
be like born, which I think is a good advice for you because I think there's a lot of pressure for people to like put out everything because like on
yeah,
social media and such, like there's just so much competition out there that I think some people feel, sometimes I feel it's like, oh, if I don't put out a video this week, it's like, I'm gonna like lose like viewers or whatever. It's like, well, not really,
yeah,
because you gotta be happy with like what you put out with too. Because again, like I always say this every show, but like it always has to be for you first, be it like
yeah.
photography or video or music, or whatever. Like it has to be for you first because if it's not for you and you give that control to someone else, then
Then
I don't
what's
know.
the
For
point?
me for me, it doesn't go well because then you're, like, giving up that, like, validation to other people, and that typically
Yeah.
doesn't go well, right? So
And that's why, like, I think I told you before, but like last year, I had a really hard crash.
yeah,
Um, it was actually really bad. I think it was like maybe 2 months. I was coming down here every day trying to do something, and it just wasn't
yeah,
happening. And that just made it even worse that I was trying and failing, and I was getting pissed off.
yeah,
But what actually ended up forcing me to crash was social media, was
yeah.
that validation, was that looking for, I don't want to say attention, but honestly, that's the right word
It is.
for it. It's
We all
looking
we
for
we
attention,
all want
right?
it, though. I want
Yeah,
it. I want
exactly.
everybody. That's why we're on social media, though.
Yeah,
That's the thing,
yeah. But
you
yeah,
know?
so like I crashed pretty hard because I wasn't succeeding.
Yeah,
And for about a month is when I self pity, all that bullshit,
mhm,
feeling bad for myself, what am I doing wrong, whatever, whatever. And then that's I mean, a month later, I decided to actually take a break. And
How
then
long?
it's like I came back to it, and I was like, you know what? Exactly that. It's my music. It's for me.
It
All
has
I
to be.
care about is the quality getting better. Other than that, it's I
Yeah,
don't care. Even if even if two of my best friends watch it, I don't care. I
yeah,
don't care.
yeah, because it's for you, like your
Exactly.
project. Like
Yep.
it's like I made that. Yeah, 100%, man. I think, I think it's easier said than done to think that way, but I think, once you get into like the grind of like actually making things consistently and getting like a little bit serious about it, then you kind of realize like how much of a bad turn it can go if you're not careful, right? Because
Yeah.
like for me personally, I turn off all notifications. Like I don't want to look at stats. I don't want to look at numbers. I don't want to see like
Yeah.
what's trending, what's not for myself personally, because I'm just gonna get stuck in the weeds,
Yeah.
and it's gonna like stop. It's gonna stop me from making the next thing. So I turn off
Yeah.
everything, and I just put out something every week, and whatever
Yeah.
happens happens. But yeah, no, it's good. It's a good. Just curious, like how long was your break from social media?
Uh, all in all, I'm pretty sure it was 2 months. The
Oh,
first month, like I said, was just more so self pity than anything.
mm,
And then the month after that, I just stopped everything entirely and
yeah,
gave myself a break.
yeah,
And honestly, since then, um, I feel a huge shift.
yeah,
Whereas I'm caring less and less about social media as a social aspect and
yeah,
more of an informative and a connection aspect.
100%.
Right? Like I would rather talk to a creator and
Yeah,
not make a post than to make a
yeah,
post and not talk to anybody.
yeah. And
So
I always think that's the power of like Instagram and social media is the ability to connect,
yeah,
the ability to actually like kind of pick someone's brain and have a good
yeah,
conversation. Because that's then you learn, and then you're growing, and then you're kind of then your process is getting better and your product is getting better. And I think a lot of people, myself included, for a time was just stuck on the follower count, right? And like
yeah,
what's the engagement and
yeah,
um, typically it doesn't go up because like you have to separate reality versus expectations, right? Because I
yeah,
think in our head it's like we're like the best thing ever, but it's like, well, you're on social media, like
yeah,
you're like a
yeah,
drop in a bucket, like it's just like
yeah.
people on their phone
Even
scrolling like 20%. It's like I don't know, even like the most famous, yeah, even like the most famous people in the world get like half a second, right? So
yeah, yeah, no,
so
even yesterday it was funny. My girlfriend yesterday, she told me, she's like, you're almost at 1,000 followers. I said, really? She said, yeah, you're at like 950 or 955 or something like that. I was like,
yeah,
all right, cool. Like I genuinely don't care.
yeah,
Like it sounds
like,
bad, but I like I don't even this is what is my downfall is I don't even advertise as much as I used to. So before, when I was deep into social media, like before I had my crash, that's when I was doing a lot of my like my ads and pushing my music through Facebook ads or Instagram ads. And then since I came back, it's like I've had a huge toxic relationship with Instagram or social media where I don't even run ads anymore. I just share it to all my friends and all the people that are on my feed. I
mhm,
make a post about it, and that's pretty much it. I
yeah.
feel like I don't comprehend uh, algorithms and all,
No one,
all the shit that goes
no,
into
no,
it. It's just
no one does. No
it's
one
too
does.
much.
It's too much, and it
It's
just
way too much.
and it takes the fun out of it.
Yeah,
It takes the
exactly.
fun. Like, I always say on the show every week. It's like if if you're not having fun, like what's the
Yeah.
point? Like
What's the
what is
point?
the point? If you're not having fun, then you may as well call it quits, right? Because
Yeah, no, honestly.
there's enough stress in the world. I mean, you
Yeah,
can't be also having stress with like the thing that you like to do too, right? Which
yeah,
is a whole other ball game. But because we've had people on this show to discuss mental health and things like that, and they've had various ways to cope. And I think taking a break from social media is great. So, like, do you
yeah.
have any other advice for people that are maybe like struggling?
Um, honestly, in terms of struggle, like, of course we've all like had our own battles.
Mm,
Um, I like to say to anybody who really asks me is stay conscious.
yeah.
And what I mean by that is like you need to understand everything that's happening now, right?
Mhm.
You also need to, so I guess, be more realistic and be more of a realist than anything. You need to understand what you've accomplished, what it is that you're in the process of doing, and where it is that you want to be. Because if you think of anything else outside of that, you're just going to end up destroying what it
Yeah.
is you're trying to focus on, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the times it's easier said than done. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, you need to one find what it is that you love doing and just keep doing it. Like honestly, like I said, I went
Just
through
keep
crash.
going. I know,
Yeah,
it's so easy to say,
that's
but,
it.
like, it's the hardest thing to do though, man, like,
Yep,
it's like,
yep.
y keep going,
And
it's
then
like, but, like, how long though? But for how long do I keep going? I just keep going, man, I don't know,
it's
just keep going.
honestly you keep going until that day where you just
Yeah,
crack and you end up loving it. That's what it is.
yeah,
It's determination and discipline. That's what it is. You just keep
it is
going because
hard.
one day it won't feel so overwhelming. One day it's
Mhm.
just gonna click and then that's it. You're gonna just start learning and growing and getting better from there.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, and also it's also important with, like, who you surround yourself with also.
Yep,
Like, who are your
yep,
friends? Who you spend the most time with? Are you learning from the people that you're spending time with? Like, do they have the same drive as you? Do they have the same ambition as you? Because it's
yep,
you know for the past couple of years, like with all the crazy things that have happened, like it's really hard to like make something
yeah.
and put it out in the world. Like I'll take YouTube for example. Like everyone can make a video, but not everyone's
Mhm.
gonna post it public. 'Cause that's a different
Yep,
level, right? Because when you
yep,
put it public, it's out there in the world, and then people do whatever with it.
yep,
So, in a
yep,
way, you're giving up control. Like, I also like being in control, but I also know that if I don't put it public, I'm not gonna make the next one. So
yeah,
putting it public finalizes that
yeah,
project, and then I can move
yeah,
on. It's not
yeah.
public, I'm still working on it,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
right?
Well,
So
even my buddy said he was like, man, because he does music too, but it's a little bit more like he's just having fun with it for right now.
mhm,
He's actually on two of my tracks in the past, but he told me
okay.
he's like, man, he told me that he has way too much ego to
Yeah,
basically go how far I've gone. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, to release music into the
yeah,
world already is
yeah.
way past my comfort zone. That's what he said. I was
It's
like,
hard, man,
well,
it's hard.
it's
I
like, and
agree.
that's the thing is like, I personally don't find it hard if you
Yeah,
don't care about other
yeah,
people, right?
yeah.
Like, I've gone from listening to everybody growing up, like in terms of artists, Lil Wayne, Rick
Yep,
Ross, etc. I've listened to all of them growing up, always saying, like, I want to release my own music, right? Now it's at a point where the only person's music that I really listen to is my own because
yep,
I'm trying to see what I can do next.
yeah,
What was I missing on that last one? What am I going to get on this next one, right? I try
mm,
and grow that way and learn that way by hearing it over because that's another thing too is you need to know when enough is enough. You need to just put
yeah,
it out there, right?
yeah,
Because you're
you
just
do.
gonna harp on it for hours or
Wow,
years.
days, weeks, years, just
Yeah,
working on
yeah,
it, and it's never gonna be perfect,
yeah,
like, nothing is, and then also, that ties into, doing it for yourself and not
yeah,
paying attention to, like, the follower. I mean, it all ties in together, but once you kinda have that nice kinda seamless, like, approach to, "Well, this is for me, and I'm doing it for me, and this is the best I can do, and I like it, and
yeah,
I'll do better on the next one." Once you have that kind of approach to things, things get a lot easier.
yep,
Like
yep,
the walls come down a little bit, and you're able to kind of meet other people. And I also love doing collabs too, like the one that
yeah,
we're gonna do this summer. You just I don't know, like you learn so much
yep,
just by meeting people. Like it's
yeah,
like, it's so simple, but there's a lot of power to it.
yeah, exactly.
Evans, you should be on the show, man. This guy's the alright, alright. Um, so for the people that are listening, watching, what have you, let's get Kareem to 1,000 followers. So do you mind if I share your IG?
Oh no, go for it, man. Absolutely.
Okay,
You don't even have to ask.
little promotion, man. A little, because I dig some of the photos here too, tying in a little bit of photography. So let's get Kareem to 1,000. We were 41 away.
Almost there.
Yeah,
Almost
man.
there.
I dig this banner here. This is cool, man.
Thank you. All of that, funny enough, all of that is from Canva. Like I literally do
Yeah, Canva's
everything
good,
in Canva. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, so. 4:45 a.m. That's when the magic happens.
Yeah, honestly, I
Yeah.
that was actually one of my freestyles. Like the idea that I was having was everything that's closer to a freestyle rather than actually planned and thought through is going to be some sort of late night title.
Yeah.
So there was
Mm.
another one that I have that's 2 a.m. That one was, I'd say, 90% of freestyle. There was only like two lines that I had to re-record. Outside of that, this one, I'd say this one was pretty much 100%. There was nothing that I re-recorded on that one.
Really? Now, can you freestyle for us now, or is that just putting you on the spot?
I should be able to, but that is putting me on the spot.
All right. Just curious. Um, cool, man. And you're on Spotify and Apple and all that jazz.
Yep, everywhere, everywhere. Even places that I don't even use. I
Really?
know, yeah, like there's Deezer, Tidal. Actually, there's a huge, huge list of places that yeah, like there's so many, like Google Music. What is this?
There's so many places to drop music, huh?
Sorry?
Yeah, there's like even like because this is on Spotify and Google. Like there's so many places to drop stuff, like to
Yeah,
drop music and to drop podcasts.
yeah,
It seems to be growing like every week. Like there's just another
yeah,
spot to drop something. Okay, just
yeah,
drop it here. Like just boom, it's
yeah,
everywhere. We're everywhere. If you're
yeah.
not everywhere, you're nowhere.
Mm-hmm. And I
So
find that it's overwhelming, man. It's
it's a lot. It's a full
yeah,
time job. It's a full time job to just be
yeah,
constantly like marketing. Like even
yep.
even for yourself, like doing the music, like you're wearing like so many different hats.
Oh, yeah,
Like you're
yeah.
wearing what's like the process? Like how many hats are you wearing?
Okay, so there's beat making, which is obviously the creation of the instrumental. There is the artist itself, songwriter or artist. So creating the lyrics, recording. There's also the producer aspect. So that's when you basically take everything, put it all together.
Okay.
Um, and then there's releasing the track, which I don't necessarily classify that as an extra hat because that's just part of my job. Then there is the marketing aspect. So there's cover art that I have to make myself. Then obviously promoting it, which I don't do a whole lot of. Like there is obviously a lot of areas for improvement, but I mean this is year two and I'm still
Yeah.
learning and I'm getting there. What else? I
What do I
mean it
don't
honestly,
What do I
I know
don't
it doesn't sound like a lot, but I like
do?
it's very intense and I don't necessarily realize that I'm doing all of these things.
Mhm.
It just feels like I'm just doing it, right? Like it
Which
just
is
feels
good, which
natural.
is
It's like,
a career. I know, but once you,
yeah,
like, dissect all the things that you do, these are all,
yeah,
like, careers for people. Like, they're all
yeah,
careers. Like, this is a
yeah,
career for someone. You're doing, like, 10 of them.
yeah,
So it's like so to me, it's like I would definitely, like, make sure, like, people know, that, "Hey, I'm doing all these things," because even for, like, YouTube, you're doing, like, pre-production, production, post-production, lighting, audio, editing,
yeah,
like, these are careers for people.
yeah,
So same thing for you where it's like, give yourself credit, man, because it's work.
yeah,
It's no joke, man. Like,
yeah.
it's
And then I actually I started like I did a music video shoot. My first
yeah,
one, I think it was last month or the month before that. I think it was last month.
yeah.
But even that, I'm doing the music video and editing the music video
You're not
myself.
doing it. It's crazy.
Yeah. So like, mind
Crazy.
you, I might have to outsource just because it's not giving the effect that I want it to. So I might have to outsource, but I will never outsource if I can do it myself the way
Yeah,
that I envision it.
'cause you wanna be in control of it.
Exactly. Exactly.
You wanna control, which I totally get. Yeah, I totally get that. Which hat do you like the most out of the whole process?
Um, Okay, so there's going to be two of them,
Mhm.
which is literally um, producing and recording. Those
Okay.
two, I absolutely love them.
Yeah.
Producing because it's not the final project, but it's putting everything together.
Right.
And I can listen to, as a producer or mixing and mastering, I have
Yeah.
to listen to the same part maybe 50, 60 times in one sitting, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'll go to the very beginning and listen to the whole thing, and I'll hear that new addition, and it feels
Good.
relieving.
Yeah. Totally.
And then obviously the recording, because I get to get out all my emotions, my anger, my
Yeah.
frustration, my sadness. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's basically therapy.
yeah, yeah,
Kind of, right? In a way, it's therapy, right?
mhm,
Which again ties into like doing it for you because it's just a way to
yeah,
like release all the things that are going on, which I think is a huge benefit of just making anything. Does music, photo, video, art, like painting,
yeah,
whatever the thing is, it's like it's therapy, right? Which I think is pretty important, right?
yeah,
To take care of yourself because I think especially in like the world today, like again going back to like social media, if you're in like
yeah,
a space of being a creator, there's a lot of I don't know. There's just like a lot of pressure to make something, and it
yeah,
doesn't happen so easily, right? So I think it's important to just make sure that you understand like why you're doing it and where you want to go with it because
yeah,
no one knows that except for you, right? So
yeah.
it's a
But
good
yeah, so like, even yeah, like pressure is a big bitch, man. It's
yeah,
huge. And
yeah,
that's a huge thing. Like no matter what anybody's doing, like when you go for a job interview and they ask you,
mm,
how are you with multitasking or how are you with
yeah.
pressure?
I
Like,
say great to everything. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Got the job. I just don't know what I'm
but
doing.
like, but I feel like pressure, like
Yeah,
being able to handle stressful situations or even pressure, like I feel
yeah,
like that is a lifelong skill that
it is.
everybody
It's a
not
skill.
not should have, but should work on. Like that is very, very important because pressure will never go away.
No, no, it gets more so as you get older and other
Yeah,
things happen, and but yeah, no, it's yeah. Again, I think it ties into your point of just being like conscious of like
yeah,
why you're feeling that way, and like
yeah,
once you like because I listen to like a lot of like self help podcasts, and people have all
right.
kinds of ideas, and you go on Spotify and just look it up, and you get all kinds of advice. But just be like conscious of like why you're feeling that way, and
Yeah,
once you kind of understand the reason why you're feeling that way, I think from there you can kind of dissect ways to like cope with it. Because
yeah,
if you don't know why you're feeling that way, then it's hard to kind of like fix the problem. You're like, "Oh, I
yeah.
don't know why I'm stressed, but I'm stressed." Like, okay,
Yeah,
it's like, well,
yeah,
I don't know why. I don't know how to fix this. But once you understand the problem, then
yeah,
you can have the solution, and that's not easy. I mean, that's why some people go to like therapists and such to get
yeah,
help, which is fine. So
yeah.
yeah, it's a crazy world, man. What can I say? Like, and again, it just ties into like who you surround yourself with, like family and
Yeah,
friends, and taking breaks. I think is important when
yeah,
because honestly, man, like this show, we've been doing this. Like we started this show in April of 2020 because Evans,
right,
who's on here but not on here, he goes, "Oh, Paul, you want to like do this podcast because we're all stuck at home?" And that was like 2 years
right.
ago. And we're still doing the show.
Oh,
We haven't we haven't missed a week. Well, I
yeah,
haven't missed a week. Evans has and Bryan has, but I haven't missed a week. Again, to me, it's like the discipline of just like hitting the bell. Just
yeah.
doesn't matter to me like how good or bad the product is. Just hit the bell and just
Just
do it.
yeah,
Just hit
yeah,
the bell and just do it because next week you're gonna do it again. The week after you're gonna
yep.
do it again and again. Because once you miss a few weeks, it's hard to hit the
Get
bell,
back into
right?
it. Yeah,
But I haven't felt the need to take a break from the show because to me this is fun.
yeah.
Like,
I
to me,
get
it's just
that.
exciting, right? Like, it's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
could be good, could be bad, but we'll just go
We'll just
live and
see how it goes. Yeah,
just see what
yeah.
happens, right?
And
Just see what happens."
that's what I was saying earlier in terms of like discipline, right? Is like even me, like I wouldn't say like I wouldn't say like I'm not gonna be, you know, sorry, I'm not gonna lie and say I come down here every single night, right?
Yeah,
Because that's just unrealistic, right?
yeah,
But
totally.
what I was fighting for the longest time was the initial um, action of getting up and bringing
Yeah.
my ass down here. That
Yes,
That
it's
is
that
the
journey, man. It's
hardest.
like
It's
yes,
the
I agree.
hardest.
I agree.
So I think after like a few months, like one day it just clicked and it just, I kept coming down, kept coming down, kept coming down. And now it's at a point where it's it's like a habit. I don't even have to think
You have
about
it.
it.
Yeah, you just
I
do
just
it.
come
Oh,
down here, do my thing, right? And then obviously,
yeah.
like you said, you need to know when to take your breaks because there's days
Exactly.
where I'll
Yeah.
feel unaccomplished and I'll feel guilty for taking the day off, but I don't think about the fact that I was down here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
So it's fine to take Saturday off and do
Yeah, you can
nothing,
take Saturday off. Yeah, you can take
right?
Saturday off.
So
I think doing it 5 days in a row is quite commendable, to be honest with you.
honestly, like it's not scheduled, but I'd say for honestly, more often than not, it's probably 6 days that I'm down here for.
Oh, yeah, it's commendable, man. It's good, man. Like
Thank
that's
you.
not everyone. I bet you the majority of people wouldn't even be there for 3 days. If you
Yeah.
poll
It's
people, I bet you they wouldn't be there 3 days.
but at the same time, right, like it comes down to one, like you said, therapy, and two, if it's really what you want to do,
Yeah,
right?
if you're
Because
having fun with it.
there's people who could spend fucking days, on PC playing video games. They can
I know.
spend days doing that, and that's their therapy, right? So like
Yeah, man.
it is very hard to stick to it, especially when you're first beginning. But like I said, after a while, man, like it's not a fucking job anymore. It's not a hassle to come down here.
Yeah,
Even
I mean, it's
even
great.
and that's the thing is people think that everything has to be exaggerated or takes so much time. If I come down here for 20, 30 minutes, I could be
Yeah.
twice as productive than I was yesterday being down here for 3 hours,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
right?
Been
Just
there.
get
Yeah,
your
yeah.
ass down there, just do what you got to do, give
Show
yourself
up.
15 minutes, that's it.
Yeah, just get your butt in the chair and turn the computer on and see what happens, right? Because
Yeah,
something could happen and something couldn't, but at least you were
yeah,
there
yeah,
to at least capture something,
yeah,
and that will get you in
exactly.
the chair tomorrow, and that will get you in the chair the next day. So
Hmm.
there it is. Like to me, it is a fine line of taking a break and not taking a break, and like taking a break versus discipline. But I think once you get close to the point of like burnout, then it's
Yeah.
time to take a break
Oh, yeah.
because burnout. I mean, I think will basically stop people from like pursuing what they want to do in life because they just get burnt
Yep.
out. I can't do this anymore, and
Yep.
it's too stressful. So I mean, how do you know when you've reached burnout? I don't know. I mean, I guess you just kind of know, right? When you
Yep.
actually don't like what you're doing, like you don't
Yep.
like doing the podcast, or you don't like doing the producing, or you don't like making the video, or you don't like turning the camera on, then yeah,
Yep.
then it's
Yep.
time to take a break. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really weird, man. Like I haven't like missed like 2 years. I haven't missed a Wednesday, so it's pretty crazy. So the first Wednesday I'm gonna miss is gonna be pretty. It's gonna be pretty insane. I don't know when that's
Significant.
gonna happen. It might happen this year. I don't know. I'm trying to like not make that. I don't know. I take a little bit of pride in not missing a week, but that's
Yeah.
just me. And also like making like videos for YouTube. I made over like 300, so I take pride in that too. So like,
Of
so like
course.
again, like you don't. Not everyone can do that. Like not everyone can
Yeah.
be in the chair like 5 days in a row, right?
Yep.
So you need to kind of like use that as fuel because in a way you're a lot more ahead in terms of like your goal because you spent so much more time working at the craft,
Yeah. Yep.
right? I think people
Yep.
think that, oh, don't you just turn the camera on and make the photo, or don't you just turn on like the record and make the song? It's like, well, it doesn't
No.
really work that way. Because people don't know like the process. If you like,
Yeah.
if you're not in like the game of whatever the game is, they don't
Yeah.
understand like what's
Yeah.
involved.
Yep.
Oh no, I just don't come here and things happen. I gotta like work,
It's,
man.
yeah, exactly. Even in terms of like dropping a song, like I was talking to my one friend like a little bit ago, and she was like, "Oh, like did you make this song because of XYZ?" It was a
Yeah.
personal situation. I was
Mhm.
like, "Dude, I don't think you understand that I've had this song on my hard drive for about 5 months, and then on top of that, there's a 4-week process in terms of dropping it. So I
Oh,
did
people
not
don't know.
make this last night."
Yeah, then you just turn it on and whip it up. Like, no, no, not really. It
Yeah.
took me about 5 months.
See, and that's why like I do take great pride, even though it's
Yeah,
not up to par in terms of like those songs that I was telling you about, 2 a.m. in the basement and then 4:45 a.m. those ones I take extreme pride in because I was able to condense all of that work into such a short amount of time. 4:45 in the
Crazy.
morning,
Crazy.
4:45 a.m. That was
Yeah,
done in 4 hours.
crazy.
So like I take immense pride in those just for the mere fact that last year or even when I first started, I couldn't even make one full song a month.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I'm just spitting
You're
them out like
crushing,
fucking
crushing.
Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, yeah. But that all happened because you put in the work to get there, though.
Yep,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like you kind of built up like the process to get to the point where you can put out a song in like a day or a night or whatever the case
Yep.
is. Like you just don't show up and you just put out a song. Like
Yeah.
you've worked to that kind of like level of
Yep.
being able to do that, right? So
Yep.
no, it's
But
good, man.
it's
Like, yeah, like 4 hours. Sheesh.
yeah. It was actually funny enough, the reason why I called it 4:45 outside of the whole like the freestyle concept
Yeah.
is because when I was done mastering that song, it was
Hmm.
4:43 in the morning, and I
Hmm.
was like, let's just round it up 2 minutes.
Four
But it
forty-five. No
was
one's gonna. No one's gonna spell check you on that.
yeah,
Four. Hey,
exactly,
Kareem, it's
exactly,
4:43, eh? What? Oh, it doesn't have the same ring to it. 4:45, man. Doesn't have
exactly.
the same ring.
But yeah,
Uh, is that like your favorite song?
it's not my favorite song. It's one of the songs, like I said, I take great pride in. Um, I don't know if I have a favorite song. I just know the songs that I'm not as impressed with, and
Hmm.
it's obviously the songs that I first started releasing because I hear nothing but imperfections or things that
Yeah. You
I
see all the
can do to
mistakes.
make them better.
You
Yeah,
see all the mistakes.
exactly.
Happens.
Yeah,
Happens to all of
which
us, man.
is yeah, exactly, right? Like it's beginning stages, like I'm just learning, so like I understand that. So I
Mm.
don't have a favorite right now. Everything that I've done so far past the point of like the education or learning stages, everything past that I think is
Yeah.
getting better and better. So I'm getting more and more impressed with myself. But
Yeah.
there's yet to be one song that I'm just like, you know what, this is the one because I
Yeah.
feel like I can always top everything that I've done so
Always
far.
happens
Yeah,
all, but I'm I think that for myself like every day. It
yep,
could always be better. It could always be better. Always be
yep,
better. But if you look at your stuff from like from like 2 years ago to now to like 2 years from now, like you're gonna see like the growth, right? Because the
yep,
stuff that you make now in 2 years, you're gonna make better stuff, and then from that
yep,
point, you make better stuff. So it's always
yep,
like a snowball thing, but it's
yeah,
kind of cool to see like the progress of like from A to
yep,
Z.
yep,
um, for myself, like you just see it, right? Which I think is super cool. Especially like when you can make something and you can watch it or listen to it,
yep,
you're basically like documenting like your life in a
yep,
way, right? Because you're making
yep,
all this stuff and it's for you and all these
yep,
like life stories. So in like 10, 20 years, man, you look back, it's like, those were some crazy times.
yep. Honestly, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
um,
even the same with photography and videos. Like I
Same
find that
thing, man. The same
very
deal.
fascinating, right?
The
Like
same deal, man. It's the
yeah,
same. You just see like the stuff that I made in March of 2020. It's like, wow, I made that. Well, I made it
yeah,
because I was bored. I wanted to make something. So it may it
yeah,
may it may have felt stupid to me then, but like now it's like, well, that thing made me make this thing. That made me
yeah,
make that thing. So to me, it's all about like the little things that
yeah,
you don't think that matter at the time, but like over time, they actually do matter because they just again, like we said at the start, like they just make you
yeah,
keep going, right? Because eventually
yeah,
you're gonna get some bangers. Like, man, if I didn't go from there to here to there to here, I
yep.
wouldn't have gotten
I
bangers, right?
wouldn't
So
have. Yeah,
for people that are listening, it's not about like it's not about like the home runs. It's about like the little like cheapy singles that will get you
yep,
places, right? So
yep,
I think it's important for people to like know that because it's not easy. It's very competitive, and
yeah,
you just gotta like celebrate your wins, right? Even if it's the smallest win, just like going down in the basement on a Monday night at 11
yep,
o'clock. Hey, you're there. All right,
yeah,
let's. I think that's a huge win because it's so easy not to do it.
yeah.
Like it's just so easy
Exactly.
not to do it. Like there's
Yeah,
so many other things that you could be doing, right?
yeah. Like
Um,
my biggest battle in terms of like holding myself back from coming downstairs was honestly, I should you not, it was literally playing Apex. That was the
Yeah.
biggest deterrent for me coming downstairs because my systems are upstairs, which is
Yeah.
also where I work, right? So I'm sitting there, I can play, you know, video games right after work's done. Why would
Yeah.
I want to go all the way
All the way
downstairs?
down,
So like,
man. It's a long
yep,
journey.
yep. So like even
No, it is though. But it is though. It is a long journey when it's like
it
25 minutes.
really is, man.
You get your butt
Uh,
up in the chair. It's like,
yeah, honestly, yeah, it's a mission.
it is.
So
It
like
is.
even like I think just like that turning point where it's just like, you know what, if I really care that much about video games, I can play after. It's fine. Like
Yeah.
it's not going anywhere. Or
Yeah.
even on my lunch break, right? Like I can always spare time. Like I don't so like since then, like I still have a great love for video games, but like it's nothing like this. It's
No.
not even close. I would rather spend an entire week where I've not played one single video game, but I've made 15 songs that I can work on later.
Yeah. Exactly. For me, I use like distractions as like a reward for doing the work. So do the work first, and then say to yourself, well, spend 2 hours here, and then you can go play whatever video game or
Yep.
something. So for people that kind of like want some advice on how to use distractions to your advantage, use it as like a reward for like the work, and not like treat it like school, right? Do the
Yep.
homework, and then go out for recess, kind of like
Yep.
approach, right? Because it's just so easy not to do the work. So you need to have like a system or like a framework or some sort of like process where you can, okay, I'm here. This is like work time, kind of like
Yep.
when you go to an office and you turn on the computer. Okay, it's work time. I gotta
Yep.
gotta go work, right? So the same kind of
Yep.
like a mind trick, like a little mind
Yep.
trick, where it's like I'm at the desk. It's work time.
No, you're not.
It's so silly, but like honestly, like for me, it's like you need to like time block stuff, because
Yeah.
if you're not like at least having some sort of schedule, like rough schedule in your
Yep.
head, it's like you'll just I don't know what happened.
Yep.
It's like 1:30 in the morning now. I haven't done anything
Yep. And then like for me too, like one thing that I would say to everyone watching is like, bro, 15 minutes is all it takes. That's
yet.
it. So even if you're at that beginning stages of, forcing yourself to go downstairs and treating it like work,
Yeah.
just do 15 minutes of actual work. Whatever it is that you're doing, just give it 15 minutes. And then tomorrow, if you want to take a break, okay, take a break. But make sure you keep that in your head. It's just 15 minutes. It's just 15 minutes. Because then that 15 minutes will start switching. You'll feel it inside. And then it's not going to be 15 minutes. It's going to be an hour and a half, 2 hours of good production.
100%. I use the same thing with photography. If I'm stuck with photos, I just use like the 15-minute photo challenge and just go take photos of drinking grass. It doesn't matter. Just do it because you'll
Yep.
get ideas. So it's
Yep.
it's true, man. Just really like simplify, and because I think sometimes we think we're gonna have to like spend hours. Like just say 15
Yeah.
minutes. That's all. That's
Yep.
all you need.
Yep.
Because once you get it into the flow, then you're in the flow. Then you're in the
Yep.
groove. But it's hard to get
Yep.
there.
Yep.
It's hard. So you need that kind of approach to kind of get into the flow, and then from there, it's like you're just grooving. So I think that's
I
great advice for people. Yep.
Did you ever watch okay, you might think this is weird, but did you ever watch Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt?
No.
Okay. I know that sounds weird. So it's a show on Netflix.
Yeah.
Basically
Okay,
the one huh?
I'll check it out tonight.
Honestly, I don't recommend it. It's like,
You
do
don't
you like The
recommend it?
Office? Do you like The
Yeah.
Office?
Yeah, I like The Office.
Okay, so I love The Office, but I understand that The Office is like stupid funny. Take
Yeah.
this, dumb it down, half as
Okay.
funny, twice as stupid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And that's a
So
show?
it's a show, yeah. So, but this is the thing is there's one thing that I took from that I carry with me every day of my life.
Yeah.
And I won't get into the actual show, but basically, one thing that the main character said, she's like, you can last 3 seconds of anything. She's like,
Yeah.
just count 3 seconds and then count another 3 seconds. And then that's how you build it from there. So
Okay.
the reason why I take that is because, back again with the whole 15 minutes, it
Yeah.
just builds up, right? You can stand 15 minutes of doing something that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
It's 15 minutes.
Hmm.
And then next thing you know, like I said, an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, it goes by like no tomorrow.
Yeah. 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 I like it, man. It's good. It's simple and it works, and
Yeah,
it's effective.
yeah,
And I think everyone's gonna go watch that show tonight. So
yeah.
it's
I
half
stopped
as what
following
do you
it a
say?
long
It's
time
half
ago.
as funny and twice as stupid. Oh man, that's a good pitch.
Yeah,
That's a good
yeah.
pitch for a show. It's like I got a great idea. It's half as funny and twice as stupid. You're greenlit. Let's do this thing.
Like
Um,
there are some good parts, but overall, like I've watched The Office, like in the entire series, I watched it probably like 7, 8 times, and it's
mm,
still going.
yeah.
This I haven't even made it through the entire
Oh
series
boy.
yet.
Oh
I
boy.
just can't. It's I'm
You put
good. I'm good.
you put it as like as background noise.
Even then, like I feel like there's so many other things that I would rather happen in the background. Like
Like
you
this
have to be.
like your music.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Actually, funny enough, like even in terms like I go to bed and
Mm,
I put both of my headphones in and I literally fall asleep listening to things that I can improve on. Right. So
there you
like
go. That's nice.
even then, yeah, like
So
it's
you
just really weird. Like
cool.
I went from always being told that I'm not basically I was told that I'll never be a rapper, I'll never be a musician, it's never gonna happen. I
Mhm.
went from that and believing it to one day saying, okay, let me try it and see how it goes.
Yeah.
And 2 years later, here I am.
Yeah.
So like,
Exactly. Suck it, everyone.
yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think especially since we're all in the space of being creative, I like there's so much of that where people just tell you it's not going to happen. Like that, I
Yep,
think to me that's just part of the game because once you signed up
yep,
for that, to me it's like people I don't know for what like whatever reason they just don't want you to succeed. It's like
yep,
well, you have nothing to do with me. Like you don't
yeah.
like to me it's like it's like okay, well, I'm over here doing my thing and you go over there doing your thing.
Do your
But
thing. Yeah,
like I
exactly.
don't understand why people say it's not going to happen because they probably want something to happen for them.
Yeah,
So wouldn't they want
yep.
something to happen for them? If,
And
like cheer
someone
like
came up to you and just told you that out of nowhere. It's
nah, it's
heartbreaking sometimes.
like to me it's like you should cheer for people's success
Yep,
because that means for you it could happen too.
yep,
Right?
yep,
That if you know Kareem can become a rapper, then you can become whatever you want, right? Because
yep,
we're all starting from zero.
yep,
I didn't go to school for this stuff, like I don't
yep,
have any phone. And I just pick up the camera and we press record and we see what happens.
yep.
Cheer for people like that are in our space because we're all in the same like it's very like small world,
Yeah.
it's not terribly big. So
Yep.
cheer for people's success because that means it can happen for you, right? And that's why we're all
Yep.
here because we want to make something happen. We want to be able to make a career and pay our bills and
Yep.
kind of like push through and whatever the end goal. Like I don't think there really is an end goal. I think it's always just constant movement and
Yeah.
progress, kind of
Yeah.
like pushing,
It's
pushing.
always learning and growing.
Yeah, there isn't like a destination. Like we
Yep.
just we just want to get better.
Yep.
Do you have any like do you have any just curious? Do you have any like dream people that you want to collab with? Like dream collabs?
Um, when I first started, I thought it would be cool to kind of go back to like 2000s to like mid
Okay.
2005s,
Okay.
um to like major people like Busta Rhymes, Ludacris,
Yeah.
Missy Elliott, things like that.
Yeah.
um Now that idea is still there, but in terms of dream collabs,
Yeah,
damn,
man.
I haven't thought of that recently.
Anybody.
um
Could be
okay,
anyone.
so sorry.
Anyone. It could be anyone.
So honestly, the first person that comes to my mind now is Burna Boy.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of him.
I don't know who that is.
You don't?
I don't.
He is phenomenal, absolutely incredible.
How do you spell his handle?
B-U-R, actually, yeah, so Burnaboy. I don't know if that's his handle. Let me take a quick look. I think there's
Yeah.
other things. So he's
Like to party? Like to party?
sorry.
Does he sing "Life to Party"? Like to party?
Let me
I just
see.
googled him real quick.
No, it's Burnaboy Graham. That's his IG.
Oh,
If you look up
is he from
African
Nigeria?
Giant, sorry.
Is he from Nigeria?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got his IG. Yeah,
Yeah.
let me quickly show this. Burna Boy Graham. All right, we're here.
Yeah.
10.5 million, just a few.
Man, I remember when I first heard him. This was time ago, but the first time I heard him, like there was just something about him that just blew my mind. And from
Mm,
there, I started showing my friends more and more. And as I was getting deeper and deeper, listening to even his interviews, and I don't normally listen to interviews, but I'd listen to his interviews, his podcasts, his radio stations, and it's
right.
just like everything about him. I was like, man,
Cool.
he's an absolute phenomenal artist.
Looks like a
He,
boss. Look at this shot.
yep. Um, Unfortunately, he does come second to Kanye. Kanye West. I wouldn't do. I wouldn't. I lied. I would do a collab with Kanye, but I would like to work and learn from him more than anything, because he started out as wanting to just be a producer, beat maker
Yeah,
and producer. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to do behind the scenes. And then one day he just hopped on the mic, and then it's both worlds collided. And a lot of
yeah,
people think he's crazy. And honestly, he is. But the
yeah,
thing is, for what he lacks in his social areas, his
yeah,
creative mind is the most intricate and the most
yeah.
genius, the most explosive creativity I have ever seen in my entire life.
Did
He
you see his
is
documentary on Netflix?
sorry,
Did you see his documentary on Netflix?
documentary. I watched the majority of it, but after watching Travis Scott's, I felt
Yeah,
like this was lacking that energy, and I just couldn't. I Travis Scott's documentary was very adrenaline infused, and it just felt
yeah.
very hype the entire time. So like I thought I was very, very excited for Kanye's, and I was anticipating it. Like I was very excited for it, and it
Just
kind of
following
let
him
me
around. They're just following him around for like 25 years.
down.
It's crazy they had that footage though. It's crazy they had
Yeah,
that footage.
yeah,
Like, wow, they
yeah.
had that footage so long ago, man.
Like even when they were using like the old flip phones and stuff, I was like,
Yeah,
oh
they still
shit,
have that
man.
footage. Like, wow, you got
Oh,
some really good like storage ability.
yeah,
Just keeping it organized. We're gonna make a documentary in 25
yeah,
years.
honestly.
Okay.
But yeah, that so there's those two.
Kanye, okay, all right.
Like I mentioned, Travis Scott. But
Yeah, I'm saying
these are
if you have, yeah,
sorry?
dream, yeah, they're
Yeah,
dream collabs, man. Someone
yeah,
told you you could collab with anyone.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Those three. If I were to make an album right now and have access to anybody, it's those three.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah,
Well, it's good. Again, like you said, like I also like the fact that, not even collabing, but just like learning from them too, right?
yeah,
Because you can just pick their minds and who knows, right? Who knows? And then hey, people are gonna want to collab with you too, right?
yeah, yeah.
Like
Like I've
what's
already.
go
Sorry, go
ahead.
ahead.
Are you gonna go ahead?
I was literally just about to say, like, I've already done a few collabs, but I want to obviously do more, but I
Yeah,
want to, going back to that learning situation. Like I feel that
yeah,
I've run through the entire history of YouTube videos and tutorials, and
mm,
I'm looking to actually collab with either another producer, another artist who
yeah,
might work in a different, workstation than I do, who just has different experiences. But it's also very difficult because the character has to match up, right? We have to sync together, right? So it's kind of like finding a new best friend who's involved in the same area as you.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
wish, I wish, I wish I could sing. I
listen,
can't,
man,
so I can't.
everybody can sing. It's just a matter of practice.
I mean, no, no,
You
no way.
definitely can.
No way. No, I just need people. You need to have that. You need to have that certain, I don't know, finesse to it.
Well, like I said,
You can do
everybody can
karaoke. I mean,
learn.
yeah, people can do karaoke, but actually like sing. That's different.
Yeah,
Different ballgame. You just have to have that natural, like the natural ability.
yeah. Even
What's
then,
like the
like
scene?
it's sorry.
No, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say, even then, like even though like you say natural ability, there's still a lot of work that goes into it, right? Like
Oh,
obviously, I know
of
that
course.
sounds um
You need the base gift though. You need that base,
yeah,
like just the gift itself and then you work
yeah,
at it.
yeah. Or even have that natural ability to understand like the
Understand
moods and the
music.
vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like I can't read music. I don't understand. I don't. I mean, I like listening to music, but I don't understand like um, the X's and Y's behind music.
Yeah.
I don't know. What sounds good? I don't know. Sounds good.
Yeah.
What's like the scene notable for like freestyle and R&B? Is there a scene notable? I'm just curious.
A scene in Oakville?
Yeah, is there a scene? Like, is there like
Um,
like because there's that
to be
studio that we spoke about on the other Zoom call, but like I don't know if people like.
so I don't honestly I don't know much about Oakville.
Yeah,
Um, I haven't really done much like research in terms of all of that, or even studios. Like I did a little bit of searching for studios around here. I really don't know the scene in Oakville. I feel like if there was anything, um, I would have heard it by now, or at least been involved with it in some way.
yeah,
Everything that I'm seeing in terms of scenes or in terms of studios, collabs, and people is all downtown or even outskirts, a little bit out of the downtown area, but everything is there. Everything's there.
okay, that's fair. So
Yeah,
Phil, it's just you and stamina then.
yeah, pretty
That's the
much.
scene. That's all you need, though. That's all you need, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I really like your collab with Stamina too. It was really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That was actually the first time that I went to somebody else's studio, and
Yeah,
that was my first true collab, and I didn't know what to expect. I had zero expectations. I just walked in there and said, "Okay, let's just try it out."
yeah,
I remember listening to the beat on the way there while I was driving there, and I was like, "I have no idea what I'm gonna do for this." Um, and then we kind of just did it. Like, that's all
yeah.
I can say. Is just we just
Exactly.
did it, and it
Yeah,
happened, and it turned out fantastic.
yeah. I love that. Just no expectations and just see what. Because usually that's when the good stuff happens is when you don't have like those expectations.
Yeah,
You just like let things flow naturally. So which I
yeah.
think is great. So are you guys going to be doing more stuff together?
I know I'm actually doing stuff with Kaj, which is the
Mm,
producer on that one.
mm,
And there was a little bit of discussion that Stamina wanted to hop on a track that we're doing.
yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that, but I do know that not right now, but in the future, I'm definitely going to be calling on him for a feature. Right now, I don't have any open verses right now.
Uh,
Everything is either spoken for or is just a single.
okay, it's fair.
Yeah. But
Um,
yeah, no, he's especially his French. His French rap
yeah,
is
that's good, eh?
perfect. Yeah, it's very very good. So like,
Yeah, it's really good.
I definitely want him on a track, just pure
Yes.
French.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah,
There's so much talent in Oakville, it's great. We gotta pro promote it more and, I don't know, do something with it. But, yeah, we'll be doing that spotlight video, sometime this
yeah,
summer, definitely, so go check that out.
yeah.
It's a good time to wrap up. Don't wanna take too much of Kareem's time, so huge thanks to Kareem for jumping on and sharing your thoughts. Maybe we'll do it again sometime down the road. Any
Absolutely.
final thoughts for the people?
Final thoughts. Honestly, uh, might be a little bit more harsh, but
Yeah.
fucking do what you want, man. Fuck
Nice.
everybody else.
That's
Do
it.
what it is that you care about. Don't like people get sucked in way too much into other people's approval, but the only fucking approval that you need is yours.
Yes. You should put that on a t-shirt.
That was a
Or a
long
long
ass
t-shirt.
sentence, but that's fine.
It's like, what is that? Oh, you gotta read it though. It's good. It's gonna change your life. It's gonna
But
change your
yeah,
life.
no,
Yeah,
thank
good.
you very much. I really
Oh,
appreciate
pleasure.
you taking the time to have me on here and go
Yeah,
through this
yeah.
and have this chat. And I do look forward to collabing, especially with you. So
Yeah,
I really do appreciate it.
we'll be doing it. And yeah, so maybe everyone make sure you go follow Kareem Eighth Line on Instagram and get his stuff off Spotify and the entire internet. And yeah, thanks again. Like this video if you like it, subscribe, and we'll see you next week. I think we have another guest lined up for next week, so we'll see you then.
All
And
right.
have a great evening.
Thank you and have a
Peace.
good night.
Peace.